Hello again, welcome back to Stormworks Basics tutorial. So this is going to be a quick tutorial on how to sink ships. I still see it to this day, people saying that you can't sink ships in Stormworks. You absolutely can. You can make some changes to them so they sink at different rates. It's intuitive. It makes sense with real-life physics. You can do it. All right, so I keep saying this almost all the time. That's why I'm doing the tutorial, to demonstrate to you how you can sink some ships. I still see people consistently saying you can't. You absolutely can. First one here is a bomb test. It blows up some warheads there. As you can see, water comes in. Now, there's some variability with explosives. Sometimes the explosives are going to destroy more blocks than other times. The more blocks you get destroyed, the faster the air can escape, the faster the water can come in, and the greater the chance you're going to sink your vessel here. So, there's some basic physics going on here. The air has weight. That air pushes down on the water, giving that pressure. And so we have a basic atmospheric pressure here at sea level. We have 1 atmosphere at sea level. Now, as the water tries to come into the hull, there is air in the hull. The air starts at about 1 atmosphere, same as outside. Now, as the water comes in, if the air has no place to escape, what's going to happen is it's going to compress the air. And if you took a rubber ball in your hand and you squeeze the rubber ball, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. As you squeeze the rubber ball, it pushes back and it pushes back against your hand. And the same thing happens with compressing a gas. As the water comes into the hull, if the air has no place to go, what's going to happen is the water is going to compress the air, and that air is going to push back on the water. And so if the air pressure inside the hull exceeds the water pressure trying to come in, that air pressure is going to prevent the water from coming in. This is how you make moon pools in-game and in real life. If the air pressure inside the hull exceeds the pressure of the water trying to come in, the water will not come in. Very simple. You can do this in-game. You can put a door on there. You can pressurize the air inside the hull, and as long as the pressure is greater than outside, the water's not going to come in. All right. Now, this is about a 50-50 proposition with this setup that this is going to sink, and it's all based on the variability of the explosions. All right. Now, the big one people keep saying you cannot sink ships in-game. This one, again, like I said, will sink about 50% of the time. You absolutely can. Now, let's say you want to do it with torpedoes, you want to do it with explosives. All you have to do is really simply add a hatch on the side. All right. Now, the devs made this a little bit different. It's a balancing thing. I'll show you my sink box in a second here. All we have to do is put a hatch on the side, an electric hatch. Now, what's going to happen is when this blows up, the door will open up and water will come pouring in. Very simple. All you have to do is add this to the hull of your ship. If you want to go, do some shooting practice, you want to go do that, as soon as this door gets hit, you're guaranteed to sink. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's open this up, and let's go blow it up, and we will see what happens. All right, so the door is now open. All right, let's watch this water come in. Now, the timer on top here is counting how many seconds until this goes underwater. So it's been 10 seconds. It will stop when we go underwater. All right, now this will sink every time. Every single time this will sink. All right, so this is a combination of explosives, and it is a combination of the door. And so if you want to guarantee a sink every time, if you see people saying you cannot sink ships in Stormworks, as you can see, we are sinking. And it will sink every time. All right, there it goes. All right, let's see what that took. That took 33 seconds. Okay, so 33 seconds to sink that one. All right, let's go ahead, and I'm going to launch the sink box. So this has been on the workshop since February 10th. This was in response to people saying you cannot sink ships in Stormworks. This is doors on the top and the bottom. Now, my hypothesis would be this was a balancing pass from the devs. A lot of us have been asking for the ability to create moon pools. This was advertised when the devs were advertising the pressure major update, that we'd be able to make moon pools. If you don't know what that is, it's a hole in the bottom of a ship generally that allows divers to jump down into the ocean and go diving. You can also lower a submarine. This is really cool. You can make a boat in-game where you have a hole in the bottom of the boat, and you can drop your submarine down and go do submarine stuff. The way this works is pretty simple. Same basic physics. If the air pressure inside the hull exceeds the pressure of the water trying to come in, no water will come in. Now, because I have doors on the top, this will allow the air to escape, and this will sink. but this will sink slowly. Now, I think this was the devs balancing this so that we could have moon pools. If doors are on the top and the bottom, we get much slower inflow of water and outflow of air. So if you want to balance your system so that it takes longer to sink, let's say you want to make a Titanic and you want it to sink slowly, you'd put your doors on the bottom and you'd give the air a path to escape, and you will have much slower sink times. This allows you to do things like RP, where you try to escape your sinking ship. All right, so let's leave that, and that has a timer on it. It will tell us when it's ready. So this one took 33 seconds with a door and explosives. All right, let's redo this test here a little bit. We're going to go ahead and take a toggle, stick it right there. All right, we're going to go ahead. We will attach the door there, and we'll attach this toggle to the timer. All right, so no explosives this time, just a door. Remember, with the explosives and the door, it took us 33 seconds. Door is open. You can hear the door open. As soon as the door opens on the side of the boat, water comes pouring in. All right, so let's leave that to its own devices, and I will check back in with you guys when that sinks. So we'll just go ahead, and I will watch from here, and we'll time-lapse it, and I'll check the time. And there it goes. All right, so the timer's a little bit behind because it went below the water before it completely sunk. But look, we got 149 seconds there. So that's 149 seconds for one door. This one's still going to keep going. This one takes a lot longer. All right, let's go ahead and we'll grab this one back up. And we'll do it with more doors. So 149 seconds with just the door. All right, so let's real simple. Copy the door. And we'll paste the second door here. And we'll tie it into that toggle button. So 149 seconds. All right, 2 doors open now. So let's see how long that takes. And there she goes. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. Again, the timer will stop as soon as it hits the bottom of the water. That was 91 seconds. So 149 for the one door, 91 seconds for the 2 doors. All right, so last test here. We'll just wait for the sync box. Again, this was out February 10th, 2023, in response to people saying you couldn't sync ships. I was able to sync them back then, too. So let's go ahead, and I'll get back with you guys when this one's all the way to the bottom. All right, so the box has sunk. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at that timer. So the timer took 706 seconds. So to look at the positive side of all this, you can make a ship sink as quickly or as slowly as you'd like. We have the sink test on the other side here, which allows us to sink very quickly here. This one is about 1.5 minutes. We had some that were like 149 seconds. The explosions, we could get them down to like 22 seconds in my testing. Very fast. We have opportunities over here if we want our ships to sink much more slowly. We can still do it with scuttling. We can have them sink more slowly. So all the tools are here necessary. Ships do sink. Ships have been sinking for quite a while. And the solutions are pretty simple. So I hope you guys found this helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.